So the backyard's finally all done, 16,400 gallons. And I'm here with Ken Wallace of Nevada Water Solution. Everybody's been asking me, how does this pond run without backy showers, RDFs? Everybody's talking about RDFs and all this stuff. How does bottom drain upflow system work? So I'm gonna run everybody, he's gonna run everybody on a crash course. And basically, if you don't know anything about this pond, I'm gonna explain to you and he's gonna answer those questions. So how is the only way water's coming up through the top, getting pulled in?
Well, we have the 4 bottom drains that pull just like a normal bottom drain from the outside around the edge, and they go to the pre-filter, which is my radial separator. And then the other way is the 2 skimmers and the mid-water drain, which are pulled from a standard mechanical pump that pump through your sand and gravel filter. And we had to do that because you have a raised area that we can't run on airlifts. So that area is run by the 6,000 gallon an hour William Limb pump. And that is what flows through here, and it's gravity flow from that filter up to the upper pool, down through your trough, and then through some floor drains that go into the bottom as returns. But the bottom drains are also vertical pond returns, where the water is coming back up through the center of each drain, making the water in the pond, giving it a toroidal effect just as it would if you turned on an air dome. So
that's why the bubbles from the spill only reach so far, because
yeah,
water is actually rising up.
It's coming up and going back down. So the whole pond is in total circulation, and that is anywhere between 16 to 18,000 gallons an hour from the airlifts. So
put on a 45 right there for the autofill so you can see.
Yeah, it has a double autofill setup. One is the regular autofill, which just keeps it at its regular level, but if you want a quick fill, that's a direct line, and we put a little 45 going up, so it's always disturbing the surface. So if you turn it on, you'll always know it's on. It's not hidden underneath the water somewhere. You can go, oh man, I need to cut that off. So.
And then over here we ended up doing what?
Okay, this is the heart of the air operated system. And those are the 4 air pumps for the air-driven dilution reactors, which are the biofilters, and the airlifts. These 2 air pumps over here are for the aerated bottom drains.
Charcoal filter.
And that's the charcoal filter for all the incoming water that'll clean the chlorine out of it before it gets there.
Now, what is that biofilter for?
That's for flush lines for the bottoms of the filters. So when you turn that on, you can power flush each of the filters from the inside with clean, fresh water that's been dechlorinated.
Okay.
And then this is your open fill line that's on right now.
And
then the other one is just your standard autofill line.
And
that
a
stays
sample
on all the time.
to...
And this is your sample valve, so at any time you can come in and run a test and see if there's any chlorine in it at all.
So we got a couple, obviously these are the same as a backy shower, but we have 3 different valves in there. Why?
Well, this one here operates the airlift. These 2 operate the biofilter. The outside line is for the air-driven dilution reactor portion of it, which cycles the water multiple times through the tank, just like a moving bed, but with no moving media. I like them a lot better. They really work well. This line here, the other one is for when you're cleaning it. It just purges the static filtration portion in the center for you.
And then this is...
That's you'll notice there are no air bubbles coming up through the bottom of the pond, because this is the purge tank, and it purges all of the air bubbles created by the airlift out before it goes back down to all the returns in the inlets. So that air purge also has ultraviolet light assembly built into it, so we're not wasting any space.
Same one?
This one is the same thing, but it has a vent on it. There's no air, ultraviolet light in it, but we can put one in later if you decide you need it, but I don't think you'll need it. I just put the socket in the bottom, so we did.
And this is the heart of the pond?
This is the pre-filtration system. It's a radial separator of my own design. It's my Living Water Solutions radial separator setup. And traditionally in radial separators, they haven't been able to be used on ponds because the water level has to be kept at a constant. So what I used is my large 8-inch circular weirs, which always stay at water level no matter what. So you get about a 6-inch water fluctuation with the surface. Well, they'll still work because it's 2 inches low now. So if it comes up, you can see it could go all the way down to where those hit the base. So the water comes in through the center, goes down at a much slower rate that it's coming in at. Then it shears again and starts coming up, which slows the water speed down a lot. And the bottom, well, you know how much crud you've got out of here already.
Yeah.
There's no moving parts, and
Anything
all of the
heavier
heavy
than water.
Everything heavier than water stays down there.
Only running off of one pump?
Now this one here is the one pump that runs the skimmers and the mid-water drain. And it's running this upflow sand and gravel filter. It's 400 gallons. We're running about 6,000 gallons an hour through it.
This right here,
That's an air blower to clean this when we're ready.
Canceling both sides.
Yep.
This is shooting out.
That's shooting out to make sure that air gets purged of this, and it's also is a siphon brake in case this shuts off. It doesn't siphon cruddy water from the bottom of the filter back down through the pump.
Sewer line.
This is the outlet to the upper pool. That's the upper drain, lower drain, and the water fill.
How much power you think I'm running on
That
this?
is 3.5 amps. The two airlifts are 2 amps. The dilution reactors are 2 more amps, so you're probably 7.5 amps for about 22,000 gallons an hour of water.
I like it.
All through filtration.
All through filtration. Aerated upflow sand and gravel filtration system. And there it is. If anybody has questions, email me or comment, and I'm curious to see what you guys think. And there's the breakdown 101 of 16,400 gallon pond on a few amps and a lot of air and natural flow.